Good morning, December 9th. Can't even believe it. Good morning, sweet girl. Good morning, Lindsay. I am coming on this morning for some inspiration for everybody. This will be uploaded also to my YouTube under the daily guidance. So if you're tuned into my YouTube channel today and you're new here, thanks for being here with me. I am an awakened empath, and my soul's purpose is to be in service to myself and others to feel all their feels and allow those gifts to really come into fruition. It's December 9th, just this side of the 12/12 full moon in Gemini on Thursday. We're already in the energy of that. I did notice and would like to share yesterday on the 8th, Sunday. This music's so, I love it. Easily distracted, imagine that. Yesterday, there was a bunch of people that I talked to that were experiencing some really heavy anxiety, and I was too. And I'm really thankful for Soul Tribe. That's what the whole purpose of this is because then you realize, oh my God, it's not just me. It's not just my energy. Somebody else is feeling this way. And I found out this morning what it was. I talk about Chiron often because that is the planet of the wounded healer, the great healer. Was in a square to Jupiter, which is a hard aspect, and Jupiter is wanting us to expand and really evolve out of the wounds that we've all been carrying and step into our authenticity and our power to be in service to ourselves and others as light workers and way showers. I can't do my hair down. My hair's still wet. I think it's funny because my hair does not hold color in that gray spot right there. It's kind of funny. So it came through as anxiety. And what I realized after it lifted was, oh my God, I feel so much better. So I just feel like it was another purge for many people. And so if you were feeling that anxiousness or feeling a little, and you still may be feeling that way because we're in the full moon in Gemini energy now already, coming into Thursday. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the thinking and the duality with the Gemini. And it's not to be looked at as bad or good, neither one. It's just that polarity. And so we all have that within us somewhere. And so just really be gentle with yourself. I'm going to read my Jesus calling for today, as everybody knows, or if you're new to my YouTube today, I love the Ascended Master Yeshua. He's dear to my heart. I am not about one religion. I believe in oneness, so I just like to explain that because some people get confused by my love of him. And it goes hand in hand with where we are right now, closing up 2019. And also closing up a whole decade. This is the last full moon, and it's at 12/12. On 12/12. Lindsay, since you're the only one in here, sister, is that music too loud in the background? Because it just like upped the volume. Is it distracting to my voice? Or is it okay? If you come in for coffee in the Facebook Live, pull yourself up a seat. This is just a daily inspiration for everybody. Sensitives, light workers. I'm going to turn it down because it's actually going up and down in volume, so it's kind of messed up. Okay, so that polarity in Gemini can cause a lot of people. And for me, the Chiron and Aries, the healers, the wounded healers rising, unpacking their wounds, dealing with themselves, their own hurts, their own wounds. Okay, thank you. It got a little loud there for a minute. Thanks, girlfriend. It can cause this friction within us. And like I said, this is for everybody, not just those that have sun, moon, rising Venus in Gemini. I looked where mine was and no wonder why. It's my south node, past wounds, past lives, and it's in the house of relationships. And so I've said goodbye to a lot of people in the flesh as I was healing myself. And that's where the Jesus calling comes in too, because when you step into your authenticity and you follow your heart and your guidance of your soul, you're never disconnected from God, creator, source, whatever you call it. And you're not going to gain a whole lot of fans, especially if they're living too much out of that mind and not in their heart space yet. That's where we're all wanting to go, and that's what this ascension is trusting our own intuition, our own compass, and to not be influenced or snuffed by other people. And so when you start putting yourself in this heart-centered space to where you're starting to know your worth as a sensitive light worker wave shower, it's going to rub some people wrong. And I witnessed that. That's why I wanted to share that with everybody here, because, you know, somebody might be starting out on their journey and this is all new to them. As long as you follow your heart, your truth, your way. I always go back to Yeshua with that illuminated heart, and that was so symbolic of, if you follow your heart, your soul, you can't go wrong. Whoops. Whoops. Well, I can't seem to turn notifications off, and I just tried to, so it might have paused the video for a moment. So anyway, just thank you, Lindsay, for being here with me. My whole point of saying that is when we start waking up and we settle down into that heart space and we stop going by other people's programs, it's really important that you keep going, even though sometimes it's really hard because there's other people around you that don't support that. Keep going anyway, because you really do not go wrong. And so this Jesus calling this morning kind of went hand in hand with that. Be willing to go out on a limb with me. If that is where I am leading you, it is the safest place to be. Your desire to live a risk-free life is a form of unbelief. Your longing to live close to me is at odds with your attempts to minimize the risk. You are approaching a crossroads in your journey. In order to follow me wholeheartedly, you must relinquish your tendency to play it safe. Let me lead you step by step through this day. If your primary focus is on me, you can walk along perilous paths without being afraid. Eventually, you will learn to relax and enjoy the adventure of our journey together. As long as you stay close to me, my sovereign presence protects you wherever you go. I think that is so symbolic, because it's super important right now. There's a lot of people, the wounded healers, that are rising. This full moon in Gemini has some people going back and forth, especially with Mercury ruling Gemini, of too much maybe thinking. I highly suggest to surrender to your heart, whatever it is that you've been working on with yourself. Some people, it's just been increasing their self-care and self-love through 2019. And for me, I'm still do it. I still do affirmations. When you come from that program of putting everybody else first and you last, kind of a people-pleasing thing, it sure leaves you depleted. And I'm restoring that, and I'll just do affirmations within my heart space and mind, my communication with myself, right? That can be symbolic of Gemini too. The duality, the mind thinking, the heart thinking, and speak love to myself. Because we are really supposed to be enjoying our experience here. Life's too short for all the petty stuff and people out of their out of control egos and competition and lack, and it's not of love, then it's not worthy of your attention. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And if anybody reads the Bible, it's in Psalm 23:4. I just thought that was perfect right now because there are a lot of people at crossroads, even if it's within themselves, going, I've been unpacking all these wounds and maybe things don't work out. I know relationships are such a beautiful test for all of us. We can learn the most from those that are closest to us. But there has to be a common thread that that other person respects you and wants the best for you too. And we're not all perfect. It don't always work that way. But really the common thread of is I respect myself, therefore you respect me, and I want you to respect yourself as well, because then the union, and that's not to say like we don't go through stuff, because we all do, but the ones closest to us can teach us the most. I know that came up within me over the last couple days, and it's like, oh, testing, but I understand it. And then I guess if people don't honor that within you in their heart space, that's when sometimes in the physicality, out of a heart-centered space, that you say goodbye. And life is all about change. And I think that in our humanness, we've all kind of put our heels in on that. I know for me, my moon is in Taurus, so I like stability and the same to make me feel safe. And so that's been a huge thing for me in my whole life journey this time so far. Another thing I was reflecting on is all of the oppression. And I was inspired by Kyle Gray, which is a beautiful artist, spiritual being that created this deck that I just got as a gift. And how society, when I first woke up and realized the significance of how much the program we've been all going on, and that the commercialization of food and the programs of schooling and on and on and on. We could go down this huge rabbit hole, but when I first woke up, it was so freaking alarming to me. Like, they've so oppressed everybody of our power through our heart space, love and oneness consciousness. And this 5-pointed star came into my mind's eye last night, and I thought, I'll be darned if, and I'm not here to bash anybody, but the Christian faith, and I'm sure it's not all of them, but some of them, how they took that 5-pointed star and demonized it. And really it was so super symbolic, and I've known this for a long time, but it just settled more into my heart space last night, and I'm like, I'm sharing about it. And really stepping away from all that conditioning and the power struggles into our oneness. And the 5-pointed star, the upper one represented God, spirit, the oneness that we are. And then the 4 other points were all the elements. It's like, that's God consciousness reaching all elements, all, everywhere on earth, earth, water, fire, air. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so symbolic of, we haven't fallen. We haven't separated. And that comes up with Gemini too, because it's the twin, right? And that's the original separation. So we thought we separated from God. No, we didn't. We're still there. But the 5-pointed star came up to me. Again, like, I've known this, but it really is something in my heart was like, and they demonized that too, calling people witches. And no, if we don't honor all the 4 elements of earth that sustain us, all 4 elements are also within us when we're in the flesh or in the body suit. And that connection of the top point of the star is God. Why would they demonize such a thing? And as we probably know, it was for control, fear, separation, to have all of us thinking we need to play small instead of really stepping into our full potential through the heart space, our soul, right? and realizing like this vast connection. We're never separate from that, tapping into that God consciousness. And I think that's huge. One more thing I'm going to share before I do a couple cards for today is the magic is within our hearts. You know, Creator said, go and be childlike. That magic is not through my oracle, it's not through anything outside of me. These beautiful tools that I use to share and inspire people, the magic and the wonder and that childlike is within my heart. It's within your heart. So the real true magic is the top point of that star, right? God consciousness, all elements, all encompassing, right here in the womb of the mother. And nature's always been a huge, I feel very connected and very in that oneness in nature. Always have. Always have. I remember as a little girl being what they would have called back then as a tomboy, but I remember I used to climb trees and I loved to put my hands in the dirt, and that was all grounding, and it was all a wonderful way for me being as sensitive to decompress and ground. And so the significance of all of that is just beautiful to me. Where we're at right now, December 9th, 2019, Gemini could be symbolic of our thoughts, our beliefs. And then Jupiter expansion, full moon on Thursday, 12/12 portal. It's about new beginnings, and with it being the one, and number two being we have free choice. There's a duality there. We have free choice. So I think it's a huge time. It's a beautiful opportunity for everybody to tap in to that vastness. And like I said, with the Gemini and the beliefs, make sure that if you're going by somebody else's belief systems, that you really just clear the slate out and surrender all that and go into your heart space. I thought, what a joke. You know, of course they programmed us into conformity with everything, whether it be schools or this, that, and the other. But the significance of the beautiful five-pointed star being demonized is just batshit crazy to me. And so when we wake up, it can be alarming at first. But like I said earlier, if you go in your heart space and you allow your soul to lead your life, you can't go wrong. So, what are we going to draw today for December 9th? The moon is in Taurus today, so a nice grounding. I think we're going to go to the top with Cryon first. Cryon is the energetic master that's helping all of us with our ascension. I already did my prayers before I came on. So what is it that will be divinely guided today to inspire anybody who comes in and listens? We know we are always connected, that we cannot disconnect. Understand that we have new beginnings available to us. We understand that with the two, there is duality and there's also free choice, free will. Future potentials. I don't miss a darn thing when it comes to Cryon. I listen to him so often on my healing journey. He helps me like tremendously. So with this deck, I will always use the book. I don't know why people shame using it anyway. They're divinely guided and inspired. So, magenta, future potentials. This is a high gloss deck, so excuse me for the glare. This to me is so super symbolic for what I was just sharing. And we do have that new beginnings with the 1 and the 2, 12/12 on 12/12, future potentials are endless. And with it being Gemini full moon, I really, really feel like, of course, with that representative of the twins, that is also right within us. Whatever wounds we've been contemplating about, whatever things we feel stuck on, it's a beautiful, beautiful time to release that and go forward. Look at the beautiful magentas in this card. I just love these. I wish they were actually matte. Future potentials. Spirit will reveal things that are potentials for you long before they activate in your 3D. These messages are guidance for you for the future. Feel the timing and be wise. It's all about divine timing, especially right now, guys. When your mother and father told you to clean your room, when did they want you to do that? The answer is now. However, many times Spirit gives you insight as to what you may be doing in the future and how we react. We hear it as a command for now, therefore we often miss the timing for things that are not ready yet. This is the basis for the phrase, feel the timing and be wise. So let intuition guide you on when to implement instructions as you feel Spirit has given you. Cryon again tells us that we have the ticket for the train, but it doesn't mean the train has arrived yet. So the real message here is patience. While that's probably one of the hardest for all of us, we are not born with this attribute, but we have the ability to accomplish patience with practice. The more you practice, the better you become in recognizing divine timing. This card wants you to relax about what your future potential holds, since they are already in the field, and in the entourage is working behind the scenes to create the perfect synchronicity to allow their manifestations. So future potentials can actually be seen as having already happened. So that's wonderful. This is the magentas and the deep tones, you know. I feel that as passion as well. And really, whatever is surfacing within all of us this week. This is a huge day today. We have a lot of stuff in the ethers that are moving us through this 12-12. And I believe it's at the galactic center. I'm not positive. We have a lot of different things going through that. And it's really just highlighting the Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer within you, within me, releasing, purging, so that we can step forward through the heart space, allow our souls to guide us, and you will not go wrong. Like I said, you won't. Like my Jesus calling, the work that I did over the past 5 years, I had to walk away from a lot of people. It wasn't easy, but I followed my heart, and I'm seeing the fruition of it now. And I'm super thankful for that. One more to go with future potential. Feel like we need some feminine, so I'm going to go with the Goddess Guidance Oracle. I'm going to do a few, actually. What else to go with our future potentials? We understand that we have new beginnings available to all of us. We also understand with us being free will, sovereign beings, with that 2, symbolic of decisions, duality, free choice. Super significant with it being a Gemini full moon. Golden opportunities. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. That one. Unleash the adventure. Take risk and be daring. This is so symbolic of this full moon. One more. Here we go. Be strong. Okay. Golden opportunity. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. This is huge with this full moon. It's also huge with the 12-12. Allowing those opportunities to flow through. Don't feel stuck on things right now. This isn't the time. Be bold. Take risk. Unleash your adventurous side and take risk and be daring. That's huge for me as well. This is also sacral chakra. Sorry, solar plexus. So that's back to healing those wounds, allowing your solar plexus to flow and glow. Be bold, jump out of your comfort zone. That's another huge thing that goes hand in hand with my Jesus calling. And be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So this is a lot to do with Chiron and Aries and those wounded healers. So if this speaks to you, really love yourself up and let's change the perspective with our mindset today, with also Gemini being the duality and the twins and the thinking. It's also an air sign, so let's change our perspective within ourselves, going, you know what, I am strong. Look at me roar. Look how much I've shed, how much I've purged, how much I've let go of. Good morning, Kat. Thanks for being here. So this is to me like spiritual strength, your spiritual muscles with the esoterics. But this is also a reminder to yourself to go, wow, I've been through so many things. I was bold and I faced my fears. I didn't check out. I didn't disassociate. I didn't ignore the elephant in the room. I was bold and faced all those things. And you know what? Give yourself a kudos. And if you're not there yet, this is a reminder to be strong. Keep gaining those spiritual muscles, because the golden opportunity right now, and then we have a hair of mine. The golden opportunity right now is we all have we can change our perspective going forward with new beginnings and our free choice. It's up to us. If you tuned in today on my YouTube and you're new here, thanks for supporting me. This was just a daily guidance for 12/9. I have many other things there, all in playlist. If you're interested, thank you. If you liked it and feel encouraged today, a like would be appreciated. I knew that was coming. To all here on my live Facebook, thank you for being here with me. Enjoy your day. Allow this energy that's outside of us, within us, not disconnected, to really be in gratitude for where you are today by changing that mindset and perspective of, wow, I've been through a lot, but look at where I'm at. So speak love to yourself, and I will talk to you the next time. Namaste.